throw them back into the Stone Age,
Yeah.
you might be onto something. It's the new battlefield. Everything else is second.
I don't get that at all. What do you mean?
Really?
Yeah.
Well, because again,
I mean, hold. If you're saying that the new battlefield is something like 1984, where everything is just everything is what's the word? It's kind of just played out. You just told what happened. You told how many people are killed, although there's no evidence. You just told.
I'm not worried about propaganda. I'm saying the ability to create artificial intelligence, computers that are basically runaway. They update themselves. They go off into infinity as far as intelligence and capabilities. Their capabilities explode exponentially. And everything runs on computer. If you have one that can destroy the ones that are operating beneath it, you have a way of sending civilization back into the Stone Age. One that can destroy. Well, don't look to me for the mechanics of it. You'd have to look into the. Yeah, that's different. That's a different application. I mean, they got computers doing everything from 3D printing to.
I know, but why is it a threat? What is it about it that frightens you?
You familiar with 3D printing?
Yes, of course. What's wrong?
A weapon? Yeah.
I'm sorry.
If a human being can hack into your system, an AI system can do that.
Mm-hmm.
What are you talking about?
You're cutting out. You're cutting out.
I'm going to refresh.
You should refresh.
Just
We are doing now.
Now.
All right. Let's not be obnoxious. Okay. Well, I don't really have much to say about AI. You're better off watching videos on it. I just get the feeling that it's the most important thing to accomplish.
yeah, yeah. You said that you don't get what artificial intelligence is. Well, I would say the big problem is that people are going to be useless because computers can do things better than us. They're more precise. They take less time. They don't need to rest. So that's the biggest concern.
That's a whole different. Yeah, no, that's a different issue. Different. I'm
But he
talking
was
about
he was
I'm talking about taking a militaristic approach with your computers to destroy other people's computerized network of operation. Yeah, again, I'm not worried about computers and how it's replacing humans. I'm talking about militarizing their use.
okay.
Well, you understand the idea of hacking into somebody's computer system. If I hacked into NORAD, could I cause damage?
Of course.
You could. Has anybody hasn't it actually been done?
Humans do it all the time, but you're saying that in the future it's going to be.
Anyway,
I'm sure it's been done. I'm sure the hacking's been done every single day, all the time.
Yeah,
At
I
least
think that
try it.
is
Try it.
happening all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
But maybe, or actually, what he's thinking is that in the future, actually, computers are going to do the hacking. Like
yes.
machines are going to, not humans, but machines are going to try to mess things up. But at the end of the day, they have to be programmed by humans, right? So I don't know.
Well,
Um,
that's the scary part about AI. If you get to that point, it actually updates itself. You don't need
but do you
to.
think that they will be able? I mean, they will be able to have consciousness one
I'm
day?
not worried about that. That's another issue that I'm not worried about.
We worry about that one because otherwise they're just like tools. They don't take decisions on their own. You can send a bunch of drones to kill specific target, and you could give them a degree of freedom so that they could take different targets and based on you know they could take the best chances to do more damage, or depending how you program the thing. But at the end of the day, is humans killing other humans, but not using soldiers, but machines instead.
It might get to the point where you can no longer unplug it. It might be able to draw energy from its surroundings, just like a solar panel. It might get to the point where you cannot unplug it.
Hmm.
And it may not, it may get to the point where it is no longer subject to human manipulation. You got me, right? Oh dear.
Yeah, that would be scary, like not being able to manipulate your own creation anymore.
Right.
Because
Well, they talk about the dangers of it.
okay, we have an expert. We have an expert in the room.
Somebody's echoing.
Who's here? Who's here? Who's the expert? No one.
On
cutting out, you know.
Andre, say something.
Andre, we is from yesterday. I think he's got a sore throat because
Bulldog.
he wouldn't stop talking yesterday.
and I get in trouble always. But like you're not too bad, Andre. I like you, because you like you want to learn, and I teach you. Now, I want to ask you a question, Andre. You remember what nylon stand for again?
What?
You remember nylon? We talked yesterday about the nylon.
Oh yeah, nylon. New York and London.
Yes. Don't you forget that one, all right?
All right.
I think that falls under the heading of trivia, doesn't it?
No, it doesn't. It's called information because Andre he did the geology and he have to know that one.
Geology.
Yeah, but he still don't understand a lot of things about geology. I have to spend a couple more hours teaching him because he'd been to university and maybe it was the shit university, so I have to pick up the slack. The slack. The shit that he don't learn at the university.
What is nylon made out of?
It's made out of what do you call it? The petrol. When they suck up from the ground. Well, it's not the petrol. It's the fossil fuels.
Really?
They make the nylon.
Okay.
But you don't know that. But I don't want to teach you. You need to. You just have to learn from me and just sit back and learn. It's Andre I'm trying to teach.
He's trying to teach me geology.
Yeah, you know anything about the metal? About the metal yesterday, I showed you the magnetic one. And when you teach them, they will go, "Oh, you're fucking smart, Andre." And you say, "Yeah, the bulldog teach me."
Yeah, you were teaching us also about the numbers in the stainless steel.
Yes, you got to
The
know
concentration of iron and
yes,
chromium and all
that's part of geology. You have to know that one, Andre. Geology. You
yeah,
pick up the rock.
yeah,
You have to look at the rock and go, "I know what is inside the rock."
yeah. But
know?
I forgot. All of the things that I was taught in university. It's been a long time.
And then you pick up the rock. You never forget that one. University.
They don't work with metal.
That you do with the carbon, hydrocarbons. You're dealing with the hydrocarbon.
Yeah. That's job I would say more than a.
Artificial,
What face in the future.
artificial intelligent, and the artificial intelligent become aware.
Obsolete. We're not useful.
Yeah, and do you?
This actually, I was thinking about that, and Irash was saying that he's not work, but
Yeah, but
to be in a bad position.
you think the machine would turn on
But I think that,
the human?
but I think that is extremely hard for them to get to gain it.
Like
Because
that's today. But what happened in the future?
Very simplistic model of a human brain.
Today is simplistic, but what happened?
Yeah, you had to actually build an exact copy of the brain, but like
no. What happens if we don't do the exact copy? We make one similar.
Yeah, something that has been the product of millions of years of evolution. And,
yeah, I know, but like the computer don't have a millions of years. We already make a computer smart already in 50 years.
Yeah, maybe in a million years of continue upgrading the
no,
computer.
No, million years. No, maybe I think more like 100 years or less.
I mean, computers are really stupid these days. They can only execute some tasks on their own.
Yeah, but I invest in a company. It's called a brain chip, and it's a learning computer. What do you think about that one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you didn't know about that one, did you?
Yeah, but why do you think that McDonald's we cannot use computers to work in McDonald's? Because the McDonald's job is too complex for a freaking computer to do.
Yeah, I know. I just told you we got Australia invented the chip. It's a learning chip. It's learning. You understand learning? It gets better and better and better and better. Like a human learn, go to school, but the computer learn quite quicker because the computer never forget, where the human forget. Like you already told me, you went to university and you forget already 50%. The computer never forget. Yeah, now you got the problem. Yes.
Time. Yeah.
But we can make it. Now, what do you think? Now you're thinking now, aren't you? Yeah. I already told you about the learning chip. Only Australia got this one. Nobody else. We got the patent on this one. Learning chip. This one. It was science fiction one day. Now it's science fact. It's true.
Yeah.
Everybody said no, bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. And after 2 years, we show them. And now America wants to buy it, and they already buy it. A share price goes from 2 cents to 50 cents.
I'm reading here that machine learning is the study of computer algorithms that improve automatically through experience. These algorithms build a model based on sample data known as training data in order to make predictions or decisions without being explicitly programmed to do so.
Yes, that's right. That's a learning chip.
Mm-hmm. Meaning these programs to detect.
Already got that one.
Yeah. So if you have a lot of data, then the computer could be even faster, more precise than a human.
It's gonna take 1 million years. No. Like
would you trust your life on an airplane that is the computer is flying the airplane? Would you trust your life in that?
Funny you should mention that because Tesla is already got an automatic car which can drive you everywhere, and people use that one every day now. And they go, I know that only 2 or 3 people die, but like then they iron out the bugs, and then it gets better and better, and then it won't have no more accidents. But
you know what? Like if you have bad sensors, the computer is too stupid, and he said, "Okay, I got a bad sensor. I'm gonna kill everybody." But a human, when he has like bad sensors in the airplane, he's able to say, "You know what? These fucking sensors are not working. Let's."
You talk a lot of words, Andre. The thing about learning a language is you're more intelligent with a fewer of the words used. Sydney, are you there?
Yep. Trying to keep my mouth shut while I listen to the same bullshit for than yesterday, but this time not interrupting, letting it flow.
I hear a cup of coffee, Bulldog.
Yeah, it's morning time now. It's time at 5 o'clock in the morning. Okay.
Sydney.
What? Can you hear me?
No, Sydney got outside.
Aha.
Get the COVID, and
Yes, I got disconnected. Shit. That's weird.
now it's give it to the security. Only one.
Okay, so I'm connected now.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, things just froze.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay.
Yeah, everything
What's
just
going on?
froze. For fuck's sake, I don't know what the hell happened.
Yeah, Sid, do you hear us?
Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure that you're back on the same page with us because your thing kept saying it was like connecting.
I know. I disconnected. I don't know what everything kind of froze. I just started closing windows and shit.
You think it was a computer?
Yeah.
Think it was a computer thing or
I think
a
it was
connection
local.
thing?
Yeah. Does this Free4Talk take a lot of resources?
Okay. Generally not, but what you can do if you want to, you can turn the bandwidth down at the top there, right in the middle, like on the old Hangouts.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I can make it audio only.
Yeah.
Perfect.
See,
Done.
that might fix some of the issues.
Let's see.
Okay.
Right.
Yo,
Like you
so
said.
Sid, are you able to? Yeah, go ahead.
No, like you said, good timing. Everybody's here.
Exactly. Hey, Horatio, can you put it into a statement? Your discussion on this going from nothingness to existence. Can you put that into a statement? How the cells would fight for survival? Because I don't want to misquote you.
Can I do? I'm sorry. What are you asking me to do?
Your discussion with Kazum on the cell thing and going from nothing in the universe to a cell and then the cell evolves. Can you put that into a statement?
Well, I mean, the prevailing theory is abiogenesis.
Yeah, we agree. Yeah, we agree with that. But like, how did you word it with Kazum that one?
Well, what I of transitioning from inert substance with no self-concern to substance with self-concern. There's it defines a direction. What is it?
Self-concern. What is that a euphemism for?
Well, no, it's not a euphemism for anything. When you have, by the time you get to a single cell, it has a cell wall that either allows something in or keeps it out.
Right.
It protects its inner workings. I mean, so it suddenly has purpose. It suddenly has direction or it suddenly has self-concern, really. Whereas inanimate matter, does not exhibit. I just thought that it's just interesting consideration to try to explain how that happens. That's all.
Well, I have a
Just
little
find it
issue when you
interesting.
say self-concern. In all the debates I've ever had about evolution and origins and nonsense, this, that, and the other, I've never heard self-concern being used as the way to describe our fight for survival in a world of natural selection. Self-concern seems to be a little bit of a I don't know. It just doesn't seem to be the right word. Self-concern, because you're talking about
Well, do we have?
you're talking about self-concern. Out in the wild where anybody can be eaten at any time. That's not self-concern. That's survival. That's stressful.
Yeah. Well, inanimate matter doesn't worry about its survival.
A matter that animates as well. It's not going to worry about its survival either. It's more of an instinct. It's just what it does.
There is that.
It's not going to contemplate it. Self-concern, it sounds like it's going to reflect upon it and think, well, I want to survive. That's not how it works.
I'm not worried about how well it articulates the concept. I'm just saying it exhibits a. When I say concern, I really don't mean a mental state necessarily. I mean, look. Would you say that we have self-concern today as we are?
No.
But we're a highly evolved, being
We're a
world.
highly
The
evolved
answer is yes.
organism
We have.
relative to all the others.
All right. So again, my question is: do we have self-concern as we are?
Yes, of course.
Yes,
Absolutely.
yes.
But
How far back do you have to go before
everything
you
has
don't?
self-concern. Everything has self-concern. Everything that is sentient has self-concern.
Not everything.
No, I wouldn't. No, you're going to find
Everything that's
self-concern in
sentient.
biology.
I said everything that's sentient has
No,
self-concern.
no. Biology seems to have self-concern.
That's not true. Biology wouldn't have self-concern. Biology is doing it again by instinct, though. So we're sentient, while a virus is not sentient. A virus is propagating because it's just what it does. There's no rhyme or reason for it.
Yeah.
It's instinctual.
That's what it
You
evolved
know,
to do.
I don't know that you can use the word instinctual. I don't really know.
Well, it is, because the virus ends up killing itself. If the virus had self-concern, it would invade your body, and it would only sit there just enough to still keep you alive and keep itself alive. But what it does is it kills its host repeatedly, over and over and over.
If you're going to talk about a virus, that might be a whole different field. I'm really talking about oneself. Well, no,
But
it's not you.
a virus is a cell, though. A virus starts out as one cell, I believe, before it propagates.
Well, all right. So if it happens to be an example of something that doesn't do what I'm saying, that's fine. But that doesn't mean there isn't anything that does what I'm saying.
Well, that's why Sydney classified in what you said and applied the label of sentience, and you seem to kind of ignore that.
Sentience is, that's just a concept of are we. I don't even know what
Sentience is the capacity to be aware of feelings and sensations.
Yeah, I'm not really worried about that level of concern. I'm worried about the mechanics actually being deployed for its own survival. That's not something that inert matter does. And I'm not trying to explain it. All I'm saying is that's the most interesting thing about transitioning from inert substance to biological substance. When it becomes biological, it suddenly things for its own survival. Inert substances don't do that. They bring to
Hmm.
the table. They bring
Yeah, I
that.
agree with that.
That doesn't continue to happen in biology in the strictest sense. And I just find that fascinating. That's all. I'm not making a case for anything when I say that. I just find it fascinating that our naturalistic explanation for everything has to include a direction that matter suddenly takes.
Yeah, but my issue is when you state this though, and it kind of between the lines, it kind of implies that there's like a plan.
No,
Are you intending for that? Because it kind of comes out that way.
well, it shouldn't, and it doesn't, and I don't. A plan? No. I mean, why is there suddenly a third party planner? I mean, that's never entered into the conversation. I don't know. I don't get it. I mean, again, a third party plan.
You talk about the mechanism as an interest.
Yeah, the actual substance has an interest.
No, it
That's
technically
weird.
it doesn't have interests. Only a brain can have interest.
Well, again, when the one-celled organism builds its fucking cell wall and protects its insides and allows
It doesn't see the cell wall wasn't something that was like built necessarily. It just was a result of chemicals happenstancing next to each other. It's not like there was any decision by the cell to make this.
for a decision-making process necessarily, but there seems to be a direction.
Yeah, well, when you say it built, it's false as well. Like, it's nice in certain contexts to use language that way because it makes it fast and easy to understand. But when I mean you're like when we don't know what really you're talking about yet. I mean, so far the only thing that's truly real
Everything has so
that
far
your
said.
language
Everything
is
has
referencing is
that
just
is
chemistry.
essential.
It's just chemistry. It's not really like literally the cell built it. It's not. It doesn't work that way.
You know, that,
Oh, I think I know what you mean, but the language that you use to describe it is problematic, especially when we have people like Mark in the room. And I might bring it up just because of the potential for an issue, but it's not necessarily an issue for me because I know what you mean, but
it's in other words, what is being adopted through
when I see
natural. Let me finish.
when I see you talk,
Protective and helpful for a living biological organism.
well,
That's not.
it goes in both. Is because at the same time nature's trying to problematic there. Style is touching on like intention, and it's like you know it, constantly will always go in. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's not a very
It's pretty
clear
basic.
question.
It's a yes or no.
I mean, I agree with Nard. That's a bit like, in a way, you can say it's random because to us, like when we don't know the specifics, it's like equal to rolling a die.
I think opportunity is
But
random. But
if you,
the part that fascinates me is the adoption of what
as
is
soon
helpful.
as soon as you know all the variables, you can predict what's going to happen.
Does that make any sense? That the opportunities are interesting to me. Does that make any sense?
No, because it
Makes
doesn't decide
sense.
to adopt any opportunity. A bolt of lightning struck the ocean on Earth, and from that, a cell was formed. That was random. Okay.
I'll give you an example. Mutations. Mutations, when they're not good, they're not really adopted. It's it feeds, and that
Yeah.
I just find that interesting. That's all.
Yeah, but like you said, there were lots of mutations that failed, and whatever was going to develop never developed. Okay,
Right.
that was random, and so it was the way it did. It was random chance. There's follow me on that.
Yeah, but Nard's direction would, even if it was randomly some other type of life, the direction he's talking about is just life marching forward, advancing in some form, period. But again, I don't even see that. Like, I see it as cycles. I see it as possibly a short-lived thing. I don't think it's necessarily perpetual. Especially how much time passes in juxtaposition to